Okay, so this is, I'm not going to go in presentation mode. I think it's better, this is kind of a working presentation. So, okay, so this is to basically help you all like get set up and play with and understand our LLM tech stack, technology stack. And so to do that, you would need, like, for example, an OpenAI API key or Anthropic API key, or like any API vendor access token. We don't expect all of you to have it, so I think do you have one ready that you can post in the chat? So Avery is creating one that don't get cocky, that will be disabled in 1 hour once the workshop is over. But this way, if you don't have your own, you can still try that. So let's see. Hi, Timothée. Thanks for coming.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, so you see this is pinned, I guess. This is sticky. And you see this API key. You can just copy it. How do you use it? Well, there are several ways. You can just create a new connection to OpenAI. You don't need a new if you never did it, but this will force a new one to open. And this will open a window like this. And you can just paste the key here. And this button here, save this connection. I mean, now is not super useful because this will stop working at the end of a session. But in general, this will store your key securely in your cloud account, so you don't have to put it in every time you create a new service connection. So this thing here, I'm doing it explicitly. All our LLM functions are doing this implicitly, so it will still work the same. It's just done under the hood. Another way, the one I use personally to store the key, is you just set system credential. I think this works by out of the box on Windows and Mac, and on Linux you have to set up some keychain provider. But I'm not super familiar with Linux, so I cannot really tell. And so you can say this string has to be exactly that, the OpenAI API key. And you just paste it here. Another thing I forgot to put in here: if you're not in a notebook, but you launch the Wolfram language, from script, from a console, you can set up environment variables that will be read in, and so you can do it the same way. You can say environment this, so you can even set this in the terminal, and this will be read in by our functions. So we have what we call an authentication flow. So we try to read this, and we try to read this, and then we try to check if you have safe connection in the cloud. So we try to be quite flexible in finding at least one connection that works if you have set up one in the past. Now there are breakout rooms in these workshops. So I don't see my screen anymore. Am I still sharing?
No.
What happened? I was kicked out. Share screen. Share again. Allow. Okay. So let us know if you cannot set it up, and one of us can open a breakout room and do some debugging 101. Can people hear me? Rohit cannot hear me.
Yes,
I can hear you.
Okay, so it's a separate issue. Sorry, Rohit. Maybe try to debug in the chat. So okay, once you are all set up, what you can do? Let's start high level. Chat notebooks, very front end based. What you can do here? I mean, first you need to open one. How do you do it? Well, you have two ways. You can go up here and do new and open one of these two. And for the life of me, I never remember what is the difference. Can somebody else here that is in the know explain what is the difference between these two, which will go away soon, I assume?
Chat-driven notebooks have a default input of a chat input cell,
and have a default persona of plain chat. That's the main difference.
Okay, well, this one here has a code writer persona.
Yeah, and you need to,
Okay,
to use the quotes to have new chat entries. So
okay.
chat-driven notebook is really like chatting in a chat room, whereas the first one is having a code assistant, more like.
Okay, cool. So for the rest of the, I wasn't aware of this. For the rest of the presentation, and while I clarify concepts that we just mentioned, so if you don't know these words, persona, assistant, yeah, don't worry. I'm going to use this one here, which is the one I've opened on the side, and I'm going to show things here in a moment. Let's go up, secret. And you can use shortcuts to open one. Command Option N on. Is it Option? Did I copy the right one? Yes, it is Option. Okay, on Mac, and Control Option N on Windows Linux, which I can show by clicking. Bam! It opened in my other screen, but it's here. So this is what you get, and you can say hi there, and you get stuff out. Amazing. Now, how can you start a new chat? And if you have an empty one, you press quote. Yeah, Anthony, you're right. We could have asked ChatGPT about that. So we have like two shortcuts here that are like quote and tilde. What are those? Oh, sorry, this is my bad copy paste. This is insert. Sorry, correct live this line. Insert chat section. How's it called? Chat section break.
Chat block, but chat sections.
Or like, okay, let's say start a new chat block. This is probably fine. So what does these two things mean? Let's check out here. So here I go, let's see, I go here, I type this, and I get this, yeah, and then I can start typing. Now I've already typed something because this stuff here is slow and unpredictable, at least in Italy, where I am. So here I say, tell me one thing about association, and this starts writing. What is association? Wolfram language. No, here we see that we do something nice, and this is kudos to Rick, who's here. This is all parsed nicely for you. So this is a symbol. You can just click on it, and it will open a documentation page for you. This is actual Wolfram language code, and you can do a few things. You can, click this one here, and it will just copy and evaluate. This will just copy it, and this one here will just copy to the clipboard, so you can paste somewhere else, like here. And let's undo this here. Or if you click on here, like paste, evaluate, bam, you get the output out. So yeah, I say create a new one, interact with it, some formatting. You can follow up. Yeah, if I say, what is the name of the function you told me about? And this is going to say the function I mentioned is called association. Now, why I ask this stupid thing? Because I want to show what the delimiter is. If I press tilde, I get this thing here. And what is this thing doing? This is resetting the chat history. So this is useful because every time you type something in the input field, everything that happened before is sent to the LLM. So this is not too long, but it might get long. Or you might want to ask some unrelated thing. So now if I ask, what is the name of the function you told me about? It says, oh, I don't have any context. I'm not sure what you're referring to, because this thing is completely invisible to this call, which can be very useful. So we have a bunch of time here. Like we have like 1 hour. So I'm going slowly. Stop me if you have any question. Yeah? I'm trying to check in the chat. So yeah, just let me know here. Okay, so let's go back to our things here. We mentioned persona. What is this persona concept? So you can LLMs, they will like read what you write and try to do something based on what is written. So you can shape the conversation by putting in specific text in the prompt. Now, conventionally, having a piece of text that describe how the LLM should answer is, and sort of giving it a personality, is called like persona, from Latin, I assume, not Italian. But somebody unmuted. Do you have a better definition? No, okay, I'll just go with mine then. So personas can be, like always act like a, funny comedian, or my boring history professor, or speak like a robot, or something more useful, like give precise answer using the least amount of words as possible, or be verbose and formal while you write your response. So these things can be used to shape the tone of the conversation. Let me show here stuff that you can do here. So, okay, so if I click here, you see that I have like some persona that are pre-installed. So this one is I added. So sorry, I added it later. But these are the one that you find by default. So this thing is a bit more verbose, yeah, Rick. While this is more spot on the code. I haven't played extensively the second one.
That's right. CodeWriter tries to stop all the chatter.
Okay.
But sometimes it
And
stop all the chatter.
Thanks. While plain chat is not about code per se. So if you don't want stuff about code, so let's actually try some difference here. So if I say code at distance and say my usual example, like write 3 colors. Let's try British spelling. So LLMs are extremely lenient with spelling. So if I do this, yeah, it still works. But you see, this is very focused on the Wolfram language, which is what this notebook is about. Now, actually, let's change it so it doesn't have any history. If I go up and change this to plain chat and evaluate, bam. So this is very generic now. This has nothing to do with the Wolfram language per se. So you can also have like normal conversation and ask about ideas for gifts for your boss. So let's try live. This should be safe enough. Give me some gift ideas for my boss birthday. Bah, and this starts writing. Oh, very stereotypical, which is typical for LLMs. Okay, so yeah, this is like normal chat, nothing to do with it. Okay, we have like some feedback here. I do not see any turbo model options in my notebook. These ones, I think these depend on. I mean, first the version you have of chatbot Parklet, and also the key you are using. Like GPT-4 is not available for everybody. Still, I'm not sure. It used to be the case, but all the models that are available depend on these two things. So let's go on a bit. What you can do, you have default personas, and you see they have a new one here, tech support bots. And this I added simply doing basically, let me do it from scratch. I did at, and this opens this nice window. I can start typing and get auto completion. So I did this tech support bot. If you don't have it, like I only installed this one, but I have like travel advisor. It will take a moment because it's installing it from the web, and now I have it. So let's go back to the tech support bot. Now, what I ask is, how do I turn my computer off? And this gives helpful advices which are like acting a bit like a tech support bot. Like this is is probably not going to give personal opinions, and like is more like
It
spot
might
on
say
this.
that anyway. Why don't you ask tech support what gift to give your boss? And see what it says.
Oh yeah, this is a very good. Let's see the power of prompting plus stupid questions. Well, this is this is I think this prompt is not over specifying that it doesn't have to give personal
I
opinions.
was hoping it would, have like
We could
malware
update
detection
this
software or something. Yeah.
now. Some people are asking, oh yeah, there's every pinned another thing, which is faculty install Wolfram Chatbook, like this command here. I'm also gonna paste here so you can see it. So this one here will make sure that you are running the latest version of Chatbook and pick the latest updates. So for these booklets about LLMs, we are doing something a bit different than our usual release model. It's more like a continuous deployment strategy. So you don't have to run this, of course, every time. Once something is tested, we put it on the Parklet server, so you just load it automatically. It's downloaded automatically on your system. This is just to force it, basically. Now, I think this is probably enough for personas. I mean, there's funny things you can do with personas, like we have our one and only Bernardo, and I can say, oh, what happened here? Bernardo, space, yes, hi there. Bernardo is very funny and moves. And then I say, I don't know, what do you think about, can I do this? I hope so. I think we can do this. No, this is tech support bots. There was a way to do this. Bob or Rick, I'm doing this wrong. Well, I leave this here so people can actually guide me in how to do this. I'm more on the programmatic guy side of things. So this all the fun stuff. Oh, don't use it. Okay. Well, let's redo the session. Okay, so this we okay. Okay, yeah. And this has to stay Bernardo.
Added manage persona, and then select.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let me show you live. Now, if I want this to be persistent, I can do this menu. Bam. This one is here. Okay. And now I can select it from the menu. Okay. Oh. Okay. Cool. This is what I want to do. Great. Okay, so we've seen how you can like kind of personalize your chat experience using personas. Okay, this is what I showed. I was a bit fast, but this is all here in the handout. Concept of tools. So tools are an extremely powerful way to extend LLM capabilities. Basically, they teach the LLM how to call external APIs to get answers that they can then use to craft your answer. So GPT-4 works with tools out of the box. I think we have some hacks to enable them in GPT 3.5, but that GPT 3.5 is not so great in following tools. GPT-4 is much better because it's been fine-tuned for that. One thing to keep in mind if you are on a budget, calling tools involve multiple LLM calls, at least two, because you have a tool call. You have the part of the answer that calls the tool, and then you have to another call to the LLM to actually do something with the tool result. So keep this in mind. Now, how do you use tools? Here, so in here, I set these to. I set this to GPT-4 previously, and now I can also redo this. So this one here by default, if I go to this menu, add and manage tools, you see that the default code assistant has this. Sorry, my thing is a bit small. It has Wolfram Alpha enabled, documentation search enabled, documentation lookup. So it has a bunch of things it can do and evaluate Wolfram language. It doesn't have web search or web image search by default. So I mean, I can enable it, and we see what it does later. So now if I evaluate this, what is the stock price for Alpha right now? This should be calling Wolfram Alpha. I did it like 3 times out of 3. Yeah, 4 times out of 4. So now you see that this is actually asking Wolfram Alpha. So even if the LLM doesn't know, because it was, the training data stopped like 1-2 years ago, it can still use Wolfram Alpha to get accurate data about contemporary things. And this is, see, November 2, 2023, bam. And tells me a bunch of things. So if this all got from the Wolfram Alpha API. If I click here, I see what happened. And you see, this is a tool called input stock price for Apple. This is what happened, and this is what it gave out. So this nice formatting, of course, is not what we sent to the LLM. What we sent to the LLM is this row thingy. So you have a tool called Wolfram Alpha inputs and tool called result, bam, and you have this. And these things is parsed by the LLM, which is then used to put this in nice textual format here. So LLMs are actually great at rephrasing information. So if you can, one thing to keep in mind is you are never sure they're not making up the things that they tell you. So I mean, it could be that we send this out like plus 3.5, 2.7% up from last close, and I think my screen stopped again.
Yeah, stop sharing.
I don't know why.
Do you see the screen share icon below? Okay.
Yeah, but it's the second time it happened. I don't know. It didn't happen to me in last presentation. Whatever. So I mean, you see, like these things here, they are used like here, but of course we have no control. Like the LM could make these numbers up. So why it's extremely powerful, extremely convenient, but also a bit shaky. So this is, I'm telling you because you have to keep it in mind. And we advertised clearly that the tool was used because it's also a liar. Sometimes it says, yes, I'm calling Wolfram Alpha, I'm telling you this, but it never did that. So this way you can at least, you have to open it and verify, but if you want to be super sure, but at least you know that the information actually came from Alpha. Now, what I did is I enabled this web image searcher here. So in here, if I create a new, let's get a new section just to be sure. And a new section, like give me an image of the crazy monkey. Now these, okay, so
I think you need to click OK in the menu to the left.
oh, ta-da! Now, oh, it's not here. It's like embedded. Let's try now. Okay, nice. I don't want to run this. Let's try to force it. Use the tool. Let's try this. Sometimes you can force it a bit. Okay. Let's see if any help from the chatbot people here.
GPT-4 enabled.
Oh, I create a new section. I'm stupid. It's crazy face template. Yes, I'm not gonna do this live. I'm gonna do this after I stop sharing my screen. Okay, now you see GPT-4 is using tool by default. So bam, web image searcher, and we get the crazy monkey out. Ready to stop. Okay, this is still safe for work. Okay, nice. This was broken. I don't think LLM fault. Oh, well, underwhelming. Okay, 1 out of 3. But we got actually a real image from the web. So like the quality of results depends on what what's on the web actually, and if the images are still there or not. Broken links are a thing. But this way, I mean, you can see the power of this. Yeah, you can. I mean, this stuff here, what it was doing before, it was trying to come up with a way to write code to do those. But actually, what you want is typically image search, and you can do this embedded in the notebook. So you can just copy these and do, I don't know, color negate on these. Bam. Now, let's go ahead. Oh, I have one more thing that I want to do in here. What is it? Here. So I wrote this function, which I use sometimes. Actually, is a nice idea. Expression color. So what is this doing? This is taking an expression. This is like a connoisseur thing. Is adding unevaluated. This way, if you pass an unevaluated expression here, you can hash the unevaluated expression. So one unevaluated is stripped here. This one here stays unevaluated. It's computing the hash. So if you pass 1 + 1, it's computing the hash of 2. But if you let's actually do this. If you do this, you get this nice color. If you do this, you get the same color. But if you do this, you get the hash of 1 + 1. So you get the hash, then yeah?
This is hash u from the function repository. Just pronounce with a sneeze.
Yeah, I mean, I used this way before the function repository was a thing. Sorry. I didn't know. I never stopped checking, but thanks. And well, anyway, this creates a color using this balance hue palette, and I could have probably add more intervals here. Now, why I wrote this? I wrote here a brief description in the comment, and I'm asking, can you please write few unit tests for function above? Because we should always test code, but it's boring. So I'm asking the LLM to do it. And here, some very basic QA ideas. These two are the same. These two are different. Let's actually check. Yeah, nice. So he's not using the whole test create business because it's new. He's not even using verification test, which is a bummer. I was expecting that. But the boring part is coming up with ideas, and this case too. And Avery told me, like, ask for more tests. So here, test for different symbols. Check that all true. This is actually a very nice use of a function. But all the tests, all the function outputs are RGB colors. And then this one here is saying the function is deterministic. This is actually very nice. Test that the color for a particular symbol or expression is always the same. And this is testing it using the actual output of the function and this approximate equal, which while it was generating, people told me, oh, this is hallucinating the name of a function. This function doesn't exist. But actually, the definition is here. So it created some test utility for you, which is not too bad. This is L1 distance in RGB using a tolerance. That's nice, I guess. Let's put it here. Does it work? Oh yeah, I also need I also need this one here. So evaluate, and then this. Why is not happy? I do have up equal.
Does it generate RGB colors?
Oh, this is LAB color.
Yeah.
I didn't know. He didn't know.
Sorry,
Poor guy.
ChatGPT.
Poor guy. Balance hue is returning LAB colors. So I'm gonna actually just change the definition here. Color convert RGB. Poor guy. And now, no, well, not here, but here it will work. Yes, actually very nice.
You could also
Okay.
have
Yeah.
tried to have the LLM fix the mistake, but that's probably a long story.
Should we? No, let's try. Yeah, this is nice. Let's do this. This was the last interactive example. I mean, everything is interactive, but was non-programmatic use. So we have this, we do this, give more test, we evaluate this, and what did go wrong with the test? Let's try. Oh,
Well, actually, not that long.
well, no. Who sent the applause? This is the opposite. This is the opposite of what is true. X procaller returns LAB, and Apex equal expecting RGB. It's the right problem.
It's all right. It's the right idea. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah. Okay, let's stop this.
Is that explanation based on the fact that you changed the code and it's reading the self bound? So now
No, but I changed it back.
Oh, you changed it back. Okay.
I changed it back. Yeah. I don't know if I actually left something in here that confuses it, but well, let's try it once more, and then we move on. This one is correct now. Well, I got confused. Understandable. People, even like real people, have difficulties wrapping their head around color spaces. So,
but that is an important point to consider, because when you do this, it's not using evaluation history to figure out what has happened. It's using what's in the notebook at the moment that you evaluate it. So if you've gone back and changed things higher in the notebook and not reevaluated, it has like a false sense of history that it'll trick the LLM.
this is very correct. I mean, Bob's audio is a little muffled for me, so I'm just going to repeat it because it's a very important concept. So by default, in a normal notebook, which is, ta-da, I bring you the normal notebook. If I do, 1, 2, 3, and then I evaluate 1, and then I ask for the last evaluation, I get 1, because there's the spatial order of these. It has no importance whatsoever. I mean, it's only important in the same cell. So if I have like this, and I have 2 times this, actually this is very boring. Let's say 6. Yeah, no, then this actually is important, but this is a single expression. Yeah, but have you seen in this case? If you read this and you see last output, I get 1 because it's not this last output, it was this because I went back and reevaluated this. Chat notebook works differently. Everything that is here literal is converted to string and sent to the LLM as history. So if I change something here, I literally change history. So yeah, this is something to keep in mind. Is quite a different mental model compared to how you're working with normal notebooks. Okay, then let's see what's given to a kind of changing topic. Let me take like a 2 seconds break here. Is there like any question that is unanswered? What are my helpers saying in the chat? What about new functions? Which no open data? No, I don't think so. So this is asking about functions that we added in 14. I don't know. Have we solved that yet? Well, I mean, the documentation lookup is looking up things in the documentation. So
they have tools. So through the tools.
But if you do the plain chat and you ask for something that was added recently, of course, that is just relying on the knowledge base of the original training, and it's not going to be there. Is an LLM tool the same as an LLM plugin? I would say that they are close. I mean, the plugin concept is for the website, the ChatGPT website, but they are very similar in spirit. Yes, I'm going to cover LLM tools. So yeah, the answer to the last question is in the rest of the talk. So yeah, 8 out of 19. So let's go ahead. Programmatic usage. So starting in 13.3 and 14 and onwards, I don't think they're gonna drop these any soon. We have added a bunch of functions to basically have this experience, but programmatically through normal code writing. So given that we have several, I just listed the main ones here, split by the task. That why should you want to use one or the other? So starting from simple to complex, like basic text completion, we have LLM synthesize. So prompt in, text out. Then parameter-based completion is LLM function, so it's something that quacks like a normal function, but is using an LLM. I'm going to detail all this later, so don't stop me if it's not clear. But just wait a second. Example-based completion, LLM example function. This is for few-shot learning. Programmatic chat session compared to interactive notebook-based chat section. Chat object, chat evaluate, and they have few specific functions that are application-based and are built around. Image synthesize is not LLM, but it's transformer, so like very similar technology. And text summarize it is UN14, which is going to grow dramatically in the next versions as soon as we finish building all the infrastructure that we need. So let's look at this thing a bit more in detail. So basic text completion, very easy. LLM synthesize, the best movie ever is. This is exactly what you could get here, but string input, string output, normal function. So this is very boring answer, very, very polite. You can ask, list 3 strange colors. It's gonna, do things roughly formatted. You don't have any formatting here, like in here, like this, custom code or things. This is just plain string, suitable for your own manipulation here. Now, this is very basic. What if you want? I mean, sometimes it's what you need, but what if you want something more? LLM function is basically the marriage between LLM synthesize and string templates or template objects. So this can be used to turn a prompt into something that is a bit more like a function. So here I create I assign it to a symbol and I say LLM function, the opposite of is, and then you see this is wrapping a template, and I think I can even take it out. Like let's say if I do information, I hope we implemented this. Yes, we did. So we have a template object, which is exactly this. So nothing crazy going on here. And then I can use it like a normal function. This is powered by LLM, trademark sign. So opposite of dark is light. Opposite of, anyway, I just map it. I can just use it like a normal function. So up, down, left, right. So this is a way to encapsulate this functionality for functional programming. Now, I mentioned also example-based or few-shot learning. So few-shot learning is a technique where you have a few examples in mind of what you want your task to be, and then you teach the LLM through examples. Is like do as I do, not as I say. So here I do this. This is very typical sentiment analysis. I love it. It's crazy. This is positive. This was okay, but it took a while to get my order. It's neutral, and I'm disappointed with the product quality for the price I paid. Not happy. Negative. So this is creating something like this is resolving into an LLM function, but it automatically does this input output thing your input will go here, and it kind of cues the LLM that it has to put your output here. So now if I say this is right, blah, 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 it says neutral. Yeah, it has learned from the examples. So why this is useful? Sometimes you don't exactly know the right words, or you're not sure about how you would like to explain this better, or you have to be verbose, say use only one word. It has to be positive, negative, or neutral. An example is worth 1,000 words sometimes, and a clear reason why you would like to do this is like, I asked for colors before, yeah. So let's do it slightly differently. So I created a list function, which is list 2 animals, cat, dog. List 4 cities, Paris, Cairo, Bogota, Tokyo. And I'm using the same format here. And now if I say list 3 strange colors, it's the same thing I said before. Now it respects the format. And this is useful because I can use now the second argument of LLM function, for example, the limited sequence string, to call interpreter on this. And now this, with this new definition, it automatically becomes a list of strings. So this is a list of strings that I can use programmatically, which is, in a programmatic environment, way more useful than this, or sorry for the scrolling, than this, which is interesting, but maybe not what I'm looking for if I not interactively reading.
Did you try it with the limited sequence caller?
No. What? Do you want me risky business? Does it know about these strange colors? No, I didn't know about these.
Worth a try.
Was dry, yeah. These are strange colors indeed, so I'm not surprised. What's periwinkle? I don't know. I would never know. I didn't actually bother reading the output above. Poor guy. I'm not even paying attention to the LLM. Now let's look at charts. So you can do the same thing here. Let's say that you want to build your own application. Yeah, you don't want to use chat notebooks. You want to embed this into your own application for a customer or for students or for whatever, your own statement. So you can use the same technology programmatically, and we created two functions basically. One that is used to instantiate a stateful, no, actually stateless. Sorry, a stateless object, which is called chat object, and this is stateless in the sense that if I do this and I say chat, this is not changing the original chat. So you see this gives out. Oh yeah, but the original chat was changed before. So let me start from scratch. Yeah, never used stale kernel. So I get this thing. Oh yeah, and I also did. I did too many things while I was setting this up. Let's do it again. Okay. Well, let's just quit. I did stupid things. There's nothing pre-baked here. Let's just start from scratch. Okay. Periwinkle blue. Thanks, Danny. Okay, now this is plain. What is the highest mountain? Is Mount Everest, blah, 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 blah. Now, if I look at chart, let's put it here. This is still empty, yeah? So I can use my new favorite syntax, which is, evaluate and apply to, I think is called this. So it evaluates this on this and redefines chart to build it up. So now if I do this is using the empty one, and now I say, oh yeah, I ask where is it because it didn't tell me before. So let's see if I can. Oh no, I have to reset it. Well, we can go on. I'm quite stupid. Where is it? Is it in Himalayas? Yeah, I can keep asking and it will keep adding it. So this is, where is it? Where is it? Twice. So yeah, you can basically do the same as this with your complete control over history, and you can also check things. I think it's called history messages. Yeah, you get everything when it was evaluated. What was the prompt? A few things. I mean, this is all here for you in all the gory details for programmatic assets. So now I was playing with this evaluator thing.
Can you also show usage content?
Yeah. Bam, 388 tokens. I think we have also full usage. Let's see, how much was history and how much was completion. So the other one was the sum of this. Thanks, Tim. So what was that evaluator thing I showed before? We've introduced this concept of LLM evaluator. The idea is taken from the fact that like if you press on a button or like a cell or the dynamic expression, they can use a specific kernel as evaluator for that code, and we want a way to define what the LLM evaluator is for one of these functions. So my default one was now that I reset it is OpenAI GPT-4, but let's do something different. So like here only for this one, this is using Anthropic Claude Instant 1. It's like a fast model from Anthropic. So let's actually reevaluate it. Should be quite fast because it's fast. There it is. So you see Anthropic has like a Claude 2, which is slower model, a bit more powerful. Claude Instant 1 is very fast. They are both very verbose. So I ask with highest mountain and I get this out. So we can use the configuration to plug in prompts. So I had one here, answer in a brief and concise way, and you see the output was only one sentence. So you see how similar to personas, prompt are the superset of personas. They can really help you shape the conversation. You can these are just strings, so you can put whatever prompt you like. And if I go to the prompt repository and I grab the numeric only prompt, it tries the best it can do, and it answers with the height of the mountain. But it actually respected what I asked. So this is again not 100% guarantee, but if the LLM is good, it will try to respect the prompt as much as possible. So yeah, I had the $LLM evaluator here. What I want to show is if you're using some things over and over, like for example, I want always Anthropic Claude Instant 1, and I always want brief and concise answers, I can just take the configuration and assign it to this $LLM evaluator, which is the default for these functions. So now, if I say LM synthesize what is has mountain, it is actually briefer than I can try to get. Let's evaluate this, and this should always be brief. Yeah. Now it stays here. Now, other settings that you can do. Well, settings that affect sampling, like most of you could be familiar with temperature. You see temperature 0, it will make it repeatable if they implemented it correctly, because is actually always picking the argmax in the probability space, and you can put a hard cutoff. Like stop sampling after you picked 5 tokens. Tokens is not really words, but sort of words. Like these, the unit of thought of these LLMs. So it says it 1, 2, 3, 5. I don't know, what was it? Yeah, this is one token per word, and then it stops. So of course, you can put this as like 1,000 to be sure that it never goes above 1,000 or 9,000. And you can do the same with the stop tokens. Keep in mind that we are gonna tell you with a message, not every API supports every combination of parameters. So in this case, Anthropic supports both. So I can say stop at commas and periods. This is still, I left temperature 0 in, so I know that it's going to write this sentence, and it stops here. And if I remove comma, it's going to stop at China. There it is. So tools, somebody asked me in the chat, so finally we get to that answer. You can use tools programmatically. So here I'm writing using LLM tool, expression expand, using interpreter. This is going to be an expression. and I'm just going to expand it. So very dangerous, but I think interpreter is sanitized against something like quit. And yeah, this, sorry, sneak peek into the future. Don't look at this. So if I call this, it says it's calling OpenAI, then it's calling OpenAI again, and this is it. It gets nice series expansion, polynomial expansion of x plus 4 to the power of 4. Now this is something I did like a moment ago. I wasn't expecting it to work, but it works, at least sometimes. I define this series expand, and I also give it a description, compute Taylor series. So the LLM can actually read this and know a bit. And this has more things, like this has an input expression, an order, which is an integer, and a variable, which is an expression. And what he's doing is evaluating these things. He's doing series of input in variable from 0 to order, is normalizing it, and is converted to an input for a string, so I can get, I don't get those full form plus minus. I just get, these symbols in. This is what I want the LLM to read. Now, if you ask, compute the Taylor approximation of W sin W to the 10th order, and I pass these with, I put in these two tools, it should be, let's do it again from scratch. It should know that it has to call the right one. There it is. So I'm asking here a few properties. You see, add a second argument. I can ask for the full text, but it's going to be very long with all the prompt to call the tools. So I'm just going to give you the completion text. This is the basic answer that I would get. This is the default property that you get out if you don't put anything here. And this is also parsing the text that went back and forth to identify where it called tools and put these in nice formats. So this thing here is us parsing the text and telling you what happened. So at a specific part of the prompt, or actually of the answer, that when I use it as a prompt in the second case, it calls series expand with these parameters. And then you got an answer that was this. So the answer to this request was this response, and this is the output. And you can see that this is exactly what it used in the end to produce the answer. So again, no much magic, but yeah, this works. Oh yeah, there's quite a, like, if you don't know about this thing, but now you know, there's a generate LM2 response that is very useful to debug this stuff. So what you can say is you can do series, and you can take the request and put it in, and this will actually generate the response. So this thing went through the whole LM thing, but this request response was just a Wolfram language evaluation, so it has nothing to do with LMs. So you can actually, this is what we use in here under the hood, but you can use it manually here. Then I see there are a few questions. So did I spell highest wrong, Danny? That's highly probable. Don't let non-native speakers do these things. So specific applications, I'm gonna show it very quickly. Image synthesize. This is a workshop about LLM Tech, and yeah, people are pretty happy about it. No, they are not. This guy is unconvinced, but everybody listens to him. And text summarize. So this is, some engineering on top of LLMs is taking text, splitting it, chunking it, counting tokens, sending out, getting the result, combining the results, redoing this if it's too long. So, this I did when I had Anthropic as a default. Anthropic always tells you how many words the abstract is. I actually never counted, but I don't know.
It's
usually
wrong.
Yeah?
It's
usually wrong. Okay, so OpenAI that doesn't do this, but Anthropic does. So yeah, you can do things like like keywords, and this is kind of built-in prompts. So you see, this was 5 chunks. This is the whole book. So this is doing things for you basically. So you don't have to bother checking things. And then you get, of course, in the options you can specify how long do you want it to be. this is a nice. Okay, this is I optimize the prompts for OpenAI too much, and now Anthropic, I really have to force not giving the description. So this is a bug for me. Well, this is not too bad, honestly, but I don't want these descriptions. So you see, this is actually showing you one of the risks of working with LLMs. Like, is not a program, is not going to give you the same output every time, and of course, it is an API, so you are reliant on what another company is doing. So caveats. Just keep it in mind. So this is the end. I have 1 minute, but we can overflow a bit. So things, every Davis, can you also show us how to reset the key? Well, let's go all the way up. Magic. So this one here, just set it to something else or do this, and it will go away. I'll not do this because my own key is saved. For the one saved in the cloud, you can. If you went to my service framework thing, you know that the service framework is not super documented. So you have two ways. Either you do this again, and this is going to do this, and you can just save another one, or, and bear with me, service connections, saved connections, OpenAI. I don't know if I actually saved any. No, I don't. But yeah, this will list all the not the keys explicitly. Will list the connections that you have done, and then you can do. Bear with me again. Service connections, delete connection, and this call here. I can actually. How do I answer you every? Compared to Q&A. Now is in Q&A, and how can I paste it? Wait, Avery, I converted it to Q&A. You disappeared from. Oh no, new. It's not in answered. Answer. Paste. Send. Okay, sorry. Live. So yeah, this is how I delete it. Then other things. Oh, nice philosophical discussion about tokens and words. Well, let me just evaluate this for the sake of your argument. Very useful. Thank you, LLM, and thank you, Danny. Then I can click on
The hard part is
Richard.
getting into misspelled words.
Sorry?
It's much harder to get it to misspell things than to spell things right.
Bob, I cannot really hear you well, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
so this is what recreated. Oh, nice. Definition examples, use the control tool, lookup verification test. This is much more beautiful than what I did. Perfect. So yeah, this is in the chart. Lot of tests. Few failed. Is it me or no? Fix. Okay, great. Nice, amazing. So yeah, you can if you put a bit more effort, like they say, you get out what you put in, and this might be true for LLM as well. And on this note, if there are no more questions, I think we can wrap it up.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Well, thanks for all of you attending, and well, have a nice end of the conference at this point. Bye.